systems green.
Hello and excuse me. Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. You will notice that I am in an Avenger. I haven't gone back on what I said in the last video and dropped more cash. What I didn't notice, because I don't pay attention, was that there's actually a free fly code given out at CitizenCon. Still got that code, by the way. That allows us to try all the ships that are currently flight ready. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take a bit of time to show you around the ships that are actually flight ready at the moment, and let you make your own minds up. 2 points before we get on with it, really. The first is, thanks for the response on the last video. Some things I should explain. First of all, I'm aware it does go on quite a bit. I was basically extending what I was saying out in order to show everything that I wanted to show. It's got about 100 views now, which is actually probably my most viewed video to date. I expected about a tenth of that, in all honesty. Even though this game's sort of big news generally, I didn't expect to get the views that I did, and really it was more a video that I made, let's say, as a almost as a favour to some of my close friends, some people that I know who haven't yet bought into the game and sort of wanted to see it with their own eyes. I did put my sources and stuff in there and tried to produce the video so that if anyone did stumble across it, I was representing things as fairly as I could. But some of you are still concerned that I wasn't as balanced as perhaps I could have been. I'm not really sure what to say to that, to be honest. I praised what I believe was praiseworthy. I mean, the assets that have been released to us are pretty great. There's not really much argument there. But it doesn't sort of affect the concerns I have about how the game is funded, and sort of the accusations from the Escapist article, which is still obviously a hot topic, but you know, we have to wait for it to come out in the wash, as I say. Eventually the truth will out. For me, a big indicator will be whether RSI, CIG, whatever you call them, actually go through with their threatened legal action. Because at that point, it really is impossible for them to hide anything, should they have anything to hide. And if they're willing to throw the doors open and actually take this thing to court, then that's indicative that, you know, maybe the Escapist, while they did their due diligence, maybe the sources had ulterior motives for saying the things that they've said. Truth be told, I still expect there's going to be something to find, but that's a topic for another time. So here's how this is going to work. First of all, I am going to put a code in the description of this video. It's not a referral program code, it's the free flight code from CitizenCon. I believe in order to make use of it, you will actually have to sign up for an account and probably back the game, which I still at this stage can't recommend caveat free. However, in case you missed the code, I'm going to put it in there so you can try all these ships yourself. And then I'm going to split this video, which I never intended to make, which is why part 2 was so long, into a series of shorter videos by manufacturer. So in this video we're going to look at the flyable ships from Aegis, however you want to pronounce it. And so I'm going to crack on with that. And I'll work through the other manufacturers over the course of the 2-week period the code enables me to have access. And another disclaimer on top of all the other disclaimers, well, 2 disclaimers actually. The first being, again, I say it every time, if the graphics look a bit janky, that's down to my hardware. It's not necessarily down to the game, and your mileage might vary. Secondly, this game is still alpha. I don't like to use the term pre-alpha. I don't even really like to use the term alpha. I mean, traditionally this would be beta. This is, you know, limited testing with the public involved. But still, it's considered alpha by the developers. I think it's fair given the unique way this game's being produced. So it is lacking polish in some areas. You saw in the last video that my Origin 300i does a wheelie upon landing. That's just one of many things that you might see. I've not tried any of these ships before. I'm coming into this blind, so without any further ado, let's take a look at the Aegis Avenger. So,
landing mode engaged.
Let's get back in the cockpit if we can.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, so we've got the landing gear down. Let's just straighten up a bit. Yeah, some of the textures haven't loaded, it seems.
Landing complete. Launch complete. Landing request approved.
Oh, I've popped outside the geometry. And oh no, I must have just got out of the cockpit. Without seeing the external animation, it's hard to know. We'll look at that in a minute. So, what's the deal with this ship? It's, well, originally it was sort of pitched towards players who wanted to make use of the bounty hunting system. It's, I believe, and feel free to correct me in the comments, that it's essentially a retired police cruiser. So, the main selling point of it, really, I mean, of course, it does have, let's go to the front. One bonus is it has this quite amazing gimbaled or semi-gimbaled nose cannon, which is very, very powerful, I would believe. We've got I think that's a docking collar we've got under here. And some missile racks and some more cannon on the wingtips there. But the main selling point here is actually around the back. So here we go. Bit of a ramp. Mind your head. What are these? You might be thinking they're gun racks. Actually, no. They are holding cells. I don't know if they employ some kind of stasis or whatnot. I saw someone's video where they were working, but apparently not now. And I've accidentally got into the midships. Let's get back out. Maybe it was a bug. Maybe someone was able to. Oh no, I died. That was my own fault. So essentially, you're going to have some holding cells in the back.
Stand by for reintegration.
Aegis combat system.
Okay.
Systems green.
Can I? No, apparently not. Okay. I'll cut the video here, and I'll go back and land, and we'll continue with the tour. Okay, welcome back. This time the getting out of the cockpit animation has worked as it should, and it's dropped us here in the midships. I'm open to being corrected, but I believe this is a small cargo rack, and this is your bed, where you, if you're in deep space and you're not able to land, you will get a glitch where you look out into space. But no, you would save the game from within here. Alpha is alpha, don't forget. Anyway, back here. So you have 4 holding cells. I don't know if they can be removed. In some ships you can actually, some of the special functionality can be switched out for something else. I think this is a ship that actually needs a little bit of love, because it's been out quite a while now and I don't know if they've done much to it. It doesn't seem like it. But I do like the concept. I didn't buy one myself because I have no interest in using the bounty hunting function. Although the bounty hunting system that's been proposed is actually pretty comprehensive. It does sound a lot of fun. Let's get back outside, shall we? I do love a loading ramp, especially an animated one. I say that every video, but God, I do. I wasn't joking when he said mind your head. So what else we got? We've got some nice vented engines on the rear there. And the thruster detail is quite nice. Obviously, just with every other ship, that's all animated and articulated and will move as needs be. The undercarriage has a supermarket shopping trolley style. Maybe not the aesthetic I would have gone for, but I don't have $92 million, so no one cares what I think. All in all, it's a pretty interesting design. It's got sort of a hunchback quality to it, but it's probably due to the need to fit space on the inside. I'm not going to comment on value for money. Value for money is very subjective, and it's not really up to me to try and give a value proposition here, or to evaluate a value proposition. Welcome back, kids. This is the second of the two ships that are currently flyable from this particular manufacturer. See what I did there to avoid mispronouncing the name? Clever. So this is the Gladius. This is a light fighter, and according to the lore, it's something that's sort of aging a bit, that's been through a few upgrade cycles to keep it relevant. It's kind of an interceptor slash escort vessel. It's very laser focused, apparently. Gimbaled lasers as well, which is nice, as well as a nose cannon. Let's take it down and have a bit of a look. So it's got a little touch of the futuristic F-18 Hornet about it, hasn't it? I like that little under wing thing. Bear in mind, I just constantly with the disclaimers, me doing these videos is purely so you can have a see. Don't take this as any kind of endorsement while everything that's going on is going on. I don't make money off these videos, so I'm not selling out. I'm still not part of the referral program. Well, let's continue. Some nice animations going on. It's a little bit longer than I expected.
Landing gear deployed. Landing mode engaged. Launch complete. Landing complete.
Okay, so out we jump. This is a traditional military ship, so it does not have any internal space. There's no pressurized area inside for you to wander around in or take a nap. Quite a lot of weapon hardpoints for a light fighter, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose down here serves. That wasn't even a proper sentence. I don't understand what this bit down here, what purpose it serves. First of all, there's an intake, but there's no air in space. I mean, obviously it can fly in the atmosphere, but even if that were the case, it's going back to this bit that doesn't do anything. So I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but let's not be too nitpicky. What do I love? The landing gear. The animation on this stuff is incredible. And I'm a big fan of landing legs over wheels. I think it's more sci-fi. There we go, I've said it. I do like the nose skid as well. And as I said in my last video, the one thing that CIG do very, very well is make very, very cool spaceships. I love the detail there on the engine housing. Let's take a look from the back. It's a very aggressive looking thing, isn't it? Again, not something that I would personally cough up for or buy in game, I don't think. Mainly because I'm a terrible fighter pilot. Well, you probably noticed that in the last video. The last thing we need to look at is how you get into the thing, and that's very, very cool. Check this out. I'm sorry, that's just broken. Oh, do you know, on everyone else's video that works. There's a lot of bugs that I seem to get that no one else does. Anyway, thank you very, very much for taking the time to join me for a look at these ships. I really appreciate you giving it a watch, leaving a comment, a like, a dislike, whatever you want, and I'll see you soon.